Welcome, Prealgebra students. We're in Lesson 76, Multiplication with Scientific Notation. So, scientific notation is when we take a number and multiply it times a value in the base tens. So, if we were to say 4 times 1,000, that would be 4,000, right? Well, we can get 1,000 by saying 10 times 10, times 10, right? That's 3 tens. So we can get 4,000 by saying 4 times 10 to the 3. It's just a shorter way, scientific notation is a shorter way to write big numbers. And it is a way to add, subtract, multiply these numbers in a succinct way that's quicker to do in your head. So that is what scientific notation is all about. It's all about writing really big numbers in a short format. For instance, if I wanted to write 40 million, I could just as easily count the number of zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It'd be a lot easier for me to know that 40 million has 7 zeros, and I could just write 4 times 10 to the 7, right? That's what this equals. So that takes up less room on your piece of paper, and if you're comparing this to another type or another number that also has a 10 to the 7, it's a lot easier to add together. Because what if I had 3 times 10 to the 7? Well, then I could just quickly say, oh, that's 7 times 10 to the 7, and 7 zeros, that'd be 70 million. Just so much easier and so much faster to put together. Not only that, but if I had something that was a different base 10, let's say I had 2 times 10 to the 6, and I had 3 times 10 to the 7, it'd be just as easy for me to change this to a 6 and make that 30. So then I'd have 32 times 10 to the 6. And then I could turn that around and say 3.2 times 10 to the 7. So it's just a little bit faster method of doing calculations of big numbers by just adding and subtracting the fronts of those numbers, not really caring about all of the zeros. You're just doing the little ones in the front. All right, so that is a preview, or a review, I should say, of scientific notation. But we can also multiply with scientific notation. And so I want to talk about that and show you how to do that here. So if I have, here's 76.1 is this example problem. If I have 4 times 10 to the 5th times 2 times 10 to the negative 2. All I have to do is multiply the whole numbers. That would give me 8. And then when I multiply my base 10s, I treat them like a variable. And when I do that, I just combine the exponents. So my exponent of 5 and negative 2 would just be 5 minus 2. So I would have 8 times 10 to the 3. Easy peasy. Let me show you again how that would work. Let me break it down for you. You take the whole number times the whole number. Okay, then you say times 10, and you take the exponent of the first one plus the exponent of the second one, m plus n. So you would say 4 times 2 times 10, 5 minus 2, right? So that would be 8 times 10 to the 3rd. You can see how that kind of works together in those two parts. You do these two parts first, then you do these two parts together. So let's do another one. Let's do 76.2. Let me clear this. So 76.2, we have 3 times 10 to the 8th times 3 times 10 to the 3rd. So we take the whole numbers together first, and that becomes 9. And then we take these together and say times 10, 8 plus 3, that becomes 9 times 10 to the 11. And that would be your answer. Okay? Let's try one more. Let's do 76.3. And we have 4 times 10 to the negative 6 times 6.2 times 10 to the 4th. So we would say 4 times 6.2 times 10 negative 6 plus 4. So first we have to figure out what this is going to be, and that's going to be 24.8. So 24.8 times 10 to the negative 2, because negative 6 and positive 4 is negative 2. However, now we have another, we have a tens place. We don't ever want to have more than a ones place in scientific notation. So we move this over to the left, and we move to the left in scientific notation. It's the opposite of the number line. So on the number line, if you move to the left, it's negative. But in scientific notation, when you move to the left, it is positive. So that'd be plus 1. So this would be 2.48 times 10 to the negative 1. All right, and that would be your answer. And that is all we have for lesson 76. And that was a very short lesson today. If you have any questions about scientific notation, please feel free to contact me. And I will see what I can do to help you. I'll see you in lesson 77.